Articles of Freedom, number 7. And be it resolved that we the people do not consent to tyranny, and we will actively resist any infringement upon our liberty as described in the Declaration of Independence, and which has been secured by the Constitution for the United States, and which springs from the stirring of our own hearts and souls. Be it further resolved that we the people reaffirm our unalienable rights as they are enumerated in the Declaration of Independence, which states in part that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these rights, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute new government, laying its foundations once again on the principles of liberty and freedom. We further affirm the right of the people to organize government powers in such a form that shall seem mostly likely to them to secure their unalienable rights, including but not limited to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness and self-governance through the utilization of any and all means available to them. Be it further resolved that this body appeals to the people to secure their sovereignty by any and all means necessary. This body recognizes that if or when force is brought to bear on the people, it is the right of the people to meet that force with equal force, be it from a foreign body or the misuse of domestic power. Any infringement on the liberty and freedom of the people as enumerated in the Constitution is an act of war against the people, and the people and their militias have the right and duty to repeal it. Be it further resolved that this affirmation serves as notice to any and all would-be oppressors that the people's resolve shall not be questioned, and no person or group has the right to exert their will upon another. The strength of our convictions is deep and powerful, and these are tested at great risk to our world oppressors. If this tyranny is brought to our doors, then the consequences will be brought to theirs. Okay. Check my time. Come on. I'm more than fine. B. Remedial instructions to Congress and each of the several states. Congress and legislatures of each of the several states shall reaffirm the fundamental political and legal principles that 1. The Declaration of Independence is the original and supreme assertion of the independence and sovereignty of we the people, and as such it constitutes the great and indispensable charter and guarantee of our freedom and liberty. Now, in order to do this, we need to go back and undo what happened in 1930 when the United States and 7 or 8 other countries went to Geneva and secretly declared bankruptcy. And in 1933, the Erie versus Staunton hearing is the ruling that gave them what they needed to officially declare our country bankrupt and to pledge everything of and in the United States as security against that debt, including people. All right. Remedial instructions to Congress in each of the several states. Congress and the legislatures of each of these several states shall reaffirm the fundamental political and legal principles that the Declaration of Independence is the original and supreme assertion of the independence and sovereignty of we the people, and as such it constitutes the great and indispensable charter and guarantee of our freedom and liberty. The Declaration of Independence asserts that we the people have assumed among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitled them, and that the original 13 colonies took upon themselves the status of free and independent states with full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. The purpose of the Constitution of the United States is to provide a charter for the government of the people of the United States in their separate and equal station that they have assumed among the powers of the earth through the formation of a more perfect union among the states. Through this union, the sovereignty of the people is exercised through the federal government under the control of the people and for their benefit. Therefore, the Constitution cannot serve any international, supranational, anti-national, or merely private function that would infringe upon the right of the people to that separate and equal station that the Declaration of Independence guarantees them. The Constitution of the United States, as the supreme law of the land, is based upon the principles of liberty stated in the Declaration of Independence. Therefore, the oath or affirmation taken by all government officials at every level to protect and defend the Constitution also binds them to support those principles in the Declaration of Independence. Well, it hasn't bound them, has it? All right, let me check my time again. Okay, only 5. Okay. Therefore, no public official may lawfully take any action whatsoever that results in the surrender, alienation, or delegation of the sovereignty of the people of the United States. 2. By entangling alliances and special relationships, or through political or economic subservience, advances the interest of any other nation, international organization, supranational entity, or private organization at the expense of the sovereignty of the United States. And such action by public official is a violation of that individual's oath or affirmation of office, and is therefore treason against the Constitution for the United States of America. C. Additional remedial instructions to Congress. We therefore instruct Congress to repeal all legislation for which it cannot show constitutional authority under the enumerated powers of Article 1, Section 8. Okay, still doing good. Additional remedial instructions to the several states. We hereby instruct our state legislatures to adopt state sovereignty resolutions that assert the power of the state to treat as null and void all federal legislation that exceeds the enumerated powers of Congress under the Constitution, and to enforce such resolutions by the interposition of the state to protect its citizens from unconstitutional federal legislation. People, that's been a constitutional right from the very beginning. Demonstrate principled leadership, strengthen the state's power to protect its citizens, and completely and forever eliminate the most common means of federal coercion by refusing all federal funds that are not specifically authorized by the Constitution. Encourage the true and proper general welfare of the state by repealing state welfare legislation. Thus leave the citizens free to build strong families, exercise true individual charity, and rebuild actual community through voluntary association rather than government coercion. Recommended civic actions by the people. Section E. Whereas federal violations of the General Welfare Clause cannot be truly reversed without a voluntary resumption of personal responsibility. This is what I've been talking about as far as responsibility, people. So I'm going to go over this one again. Encourage the true and proper general welfare of the state by repealing state welfare legislation. Thus, leave the citizens free to build strong families, exercise true individual charity, and rebuild actual community through voluntary association rather than government coercion. All right. Section E. Recommended civic actions by the people. Oh, Section E's got to stop. I got to do another one, folks.